Okay, so we're going to work on the door now. So in my midterm project, interactive actors, interactive centers, and musical door. And when we last met, I believe we got most of the checks done, which looks we did, except we did not do, is the door locked or unlocked? We turned off the checker for, we just entered, Dan. Oh, Dan, okay. Definitely, like later than me, it's pretty bad. It's okay, gotcha though. Clear and invalidate. Then we did our text to say the door is opening. Then we have our timeline going that gets the relative rotation and rotates the hinge on the z-axis. And hopefully, if we hit play here, here's my door, and I have the front of the door. Hopefully, the door is swinging open the correct way. It's fine, Dan. Swinging open the correct way. If the door is, here, and I'll show you how to fix this. So times this by, you don't have to do this. Just showing you. If your door is opening like this, the wrong way, like it's opening that way, then you can fix it. And I'll show you how to fix that. Right, so if your door is opening like this, and I think it was Alex on Tuesday that was having the same problem. What you can do is, so if our value here is 0 to 90, right? 0 to 90, that's our value in our timeline. If we go to the hinge and we look at what we're manipulating, so I'm in the hinge itself, the details panel, what I'm manipulating is the z-axis, right? So if I wanted to open in the opposite direction, I would just do a negative value, and I don't think it's going to allow me, so maybe we do it this way. Here we go. Oh no, come on. But basically, negative 90, you can see now the door is open in the opposite direction, right? So we have a negative value here. So what I need to be able to do is in the timeline, I need to be able to go from 0 to negative 90 to make it go in the opposite direction. So all I have to do is grab our float, and if we times a negative by a positive, right, it immediately turns into a negative. And so now our door will open in the opposite direction. So if you have that problem, you can fix it by doing this. But if not, like mine is fine, then you can just go straight in. Either one. File and save. Okay. So let's do if the door, or if the player walks away. So what do we need? What is this? We don't need you to go away. Let's see, we're gonna need a set helper text value. So let's grab this guy. We'll paste it. So the player walks away from the door. Like he's walking, he or she has left our huge collision, right? They've walked away. So now we can say, you know, something like, you're not, get close to the door, something like that. Get closer to open. Let me just say get closer, right? And we also need to stop any timer event, just in case there's a timer event. So let's say like the player, for whatever reason, the player gets close to the door, right? And now we're doing a use. We're waiting for them to press the use button, but they're like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So, so we got to stop the timer, right? So we'll fix that. Just stop. That's just in case, right? In the programming world, it's CYA. And this stands for cover your ankles. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. So that's what we're doing right there. And then we can, do we have this door open? Oh yeah, we also need to do this. We also need to do a checker. So what we can actually do is, let's invert this. Let's change this around. We actually are we're gonna clear and invalidate no matter what, right? We're gonna do that no matter what. And then we actually are gonna do a branch, branch. And our branch is gonna check if the door is open. So if the door is not open, then we're gonna say get closer, right? But if the door is already open, then we're going to, what we'll say, we need to sort of check to see if they're on the other side, actually. That's what we really need to do. We need to see if they're on the other side. So I don't know what we're going to put here yet. I don't know yet. Let's make some adjustments though, because what we really need to do is say, we need to say, you know, if the player is, well, we're actually working on the front door, right? So if the player is here and the door is open, did the player step through the door? And if they did, then we can like close the door and we can do all sorts of stuff. But in our case, we can close the door and lock it and like never let the player go through anymore. Sort of like you've completed this area and you've gotten all the keys and all whatever. Now you're going to go through the door and we're not going to let you go any further, or not let you come back through the door. So, or we can do whatever we want. We can also say, okay, now you can go through there again. But we need to see, did the player open the door and did they step through the door? So we need to adjust this this collision we have, this helper text collision. I'm going to rename this to helper text collision front door. Helper text collision front door. And then I'm going to shrink it. So we'll shrink this guy. I'll bring it over here to like the front of the door. And then I'm going to duplicate it. So duplicate. And we'll rename this one to back door. And make sure you have that one selected. And we're going to put that one on this side of the door. Cool. Give me some thumbs ups if you got all this. It's 9.8 and 1,000 internet points. Jayla, Matt, awesome. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to well, let's make sure our helper text collision backdoor is got the correct collision, which it should, set to oh, it's set to pawn. Is that what we want? Yeah, we do want to go at pawn. It's looking for pawn. Oh, it also has doorknob checked. So we actually need to uncheck doorknob for a helper text collision. We don't want that. So go to both the helper text collision front and back door and make sure that doorknob is not overlapping, only pawn. So mine was set to overlap, and I just fixed it. That looks good. Okay, so let's also go to our new backdoor collision, and we will say on begin overlap, and we will do our on end overlap. And I'm going to put those just so down here. We are going to manipulate those in a second. But what do we need to do? We need to say when the player enters this helper text front door collision, right? When they enter that, we need to say that it's true that they did enter there, because we need to check that for our back door and then also for the front door. So coming out of here, what are we going to do? We're going to do a Boolean actually. So let's go to my blueprint variables, this variable plus symbol. We're going to say player entered front door collision. And then I'm going to connect it to our begin overlap for the front door, helper text collision front door, and we're going to say it's true. And then I'm just going to make that the very first thing. Yep. And then when they leave that, see, this is the end overlap. We're definitely going to clear our timer. And then we're going to grab our player entered front door collision and uncheck it, right? Because they've left the area. Sorry. I'm thinking about this. This might not work the way I want it to, because if the door is open, oh, I see. We won't. I was thinking we would close the door on end overlap, but I think what I'll do is I'll close the door when it on this begin overlap, and I'll do the same for the when the player enters this overlap. Yeah.
So that might, maybe I'm wrong, but that might cause issues because the player will walk into the behind door collision box and they'll trigger it to close in there, which they'll still be standing right in the door frame when they cross the threshold. So it might slam in their face, won't it?
Yeah, it's very possible. It is very possible.
Do we want like a secondary collision box to make sure they're far enough out of the door before it closes?
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly, you're right. We'll probably need to do that. So if you guys didn't catch that, what's going to happen here is, if I can have in there. So player enters this collision. They do all the necessary steps. They open the door. Then they step into this collision, but the door is sort of in the way, and it like pushes them back into this spot. So what we really need to do is probably have another set of collisions. So I'm going to duplicate these again, but we're going to rename them. That one and that one. So I just Control W to duplicate, or you can right click and duplicate them. We'll start with our helper text collision front door, and I'm going to push this out to maybe right there. And I'm actually going to make it wider. It's going to be a problem because
they can escape out the side.
They can escape out this way. Yeah. What we could do, what we'll do is we'll just do this. We're just gonna make this huge thing like this. and maybe like this. I don't know. And we'll do is if they're in this collision, right? We'll have that Boolean. So if they're in this collision, then we do nothing. But if they're in this collision and in this collision, right, then we do nothing. But as soon as they leave this collision and it's only this collision, then we'll shut the door.
Yeah, I have a question. Is
Mhm.
negative geometry good for this or no? So you could like block out that part that you don't want.
What do you mean negative geometry? Like this?
Well, yeah, like say it looks like negative geometry already, but like if you had like a wall that actually had geometry and you use negative geometry, it looks basically it takes a chunk out of it. Is there something like that for collision boxes or no?
I don't think so. I think what you're talking about is like this geometry stuff where we have like this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then we do
Yeah.
one of these guys, which it's negative or subtractive. I mean, if I can actually make this work.
But yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't know if there was a way for negative geometry to affect collision the same way.
I'm not cutting all. There it goes. Yeah, something like that. Unfortunately, that
Yeah,
is
I was actually thinking of the same thing.
that's geometry. I don't think we could do geometry like that. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. No, you can't do geometry like that. This geometry stuff is supposed to be for like world building, and then when you're done, you would grab both the pieces you want, and then what does it convert to? There's a way to make it a mesh. I forget exactly how to do it. Maybe it's in here. Oh yeah, create static mesh, and then you could call it whatever you want. And now it's that static mesh. Well, it didn't make the thing, but there's a way to do that. I'm not completely familiar with that way. I'm gonna delete this guy, and then delete that and delete that. But you can't do that in blueprints, or if you can, I'm not aware that you can. Save. So yeah, so we'll have to do some funky, wonky stuff here where we're like, oh, is the player inside this collision and this collision? Do nothing. But as soon as the player steps away from this collision, as a matter of fact, we can make this collision a little bit smaller, like they gotta get kind of close to the door. We'll do the same thing on this side. This one is, yeah, the right one. I guess that is on the Z axis 1.9. Let's just make that 2. I'll make this 4. Oh no, I can't do that. But we will make this 2. Do this 1, make it 2, so they're equal. And then how big can I make this one? 11. 11. 11, and then like that, same 4, something. Cool. Okay. So we need a name for this, and this is going to be front door exit collision, maybe. It's kind of verbose. And then the same thing for this one would be front door. Oh no, it's back door actually. Back door exit collision. James says, wouldn't there be a wall? There would be. let's do a cube here so we can demonstrate. You don't have to do this part, guys.
But
But
the way you're programming it though is in case you're in a hallway and you need to have it where it's open, an open exit instead of like just having a corridor.
exactly. So like if there's a wall like this, it's not going to work, right? If the player goes through this door and they step right here, right? They step right there, then it's not going to work. So if I do top down here, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Right, so they go through the door. Here's our door. And we're not closing the door yet. We're not closing the door yet. We're not closing. Now they've exited this part, right? They've exited that. Now we start closing the door. That's going to work. That the use case is good. But what could potentially happen is that the player exit like this, right? And now the door hinge is right here. or even like if they go this way, it's still going to have problems, I think. So we're going to have, that's why we have to make this collision box really big.
So instead of two separate exit collision boxes, could you just do one big one and then just have it coded so both sides of the door close on exit? Because wouldn't leaving, since you have two, wouldn't going into the door and then exiting through technically the other side of the door close it because you're on that line?
That's true, but the problem is that what happens, like, let's say that the door is closed, right? And then I go through I open the door, yes, and then I go through it. And now as soon as I touch this block, the door starts to shut.
Well, that's what I mean about having two. Won't that cause the door to close instead of just having a big exit encompassing both exits?
Actually, you know what I could do is, I think you're right, actually, is instead of closing the door as soon as I hit this collision volume, is that I close the door when I exit this collision volume. I think that's actually a better way to do it.
But if we do it that way for both of them, then when you exit the front collision, it'll close it, won't it?
Well, we could say that if they've opened it from the front door, that we'll wait until they've exited the back door collision. And then if they open it from the back door, then we'll wait until they've exited the front door collision. So go ahead.
That I was gonna say that, Luke, I think that will only work if you slightly overlap both the front and the back so that it gives them enough time to move out of the way before it kicks in. So like half a person into the existing collision box. So if you, instead of just putting it flush with the door, yeah, like that. That way it kicks in right when they leave, and that they're not back into the room. Yeah, I think that'll work.
Yeah, I think that'll work too.
Will that cause problems with our existing code, though?
I don't think so. It might. But what we'll do is we'll say players entered. So we'll still do this. Players entered the front door collision and player has exited the front door collision. And then is the door open? We can, what we can do maybe is have another timer handler that do like a timer handler. Oops, not that one. Event timer, whatever. What is it called? Set timer by event. This guy. So we have another one of these that just checks to see if this backdoor collision. Right, so this will be true. And we'll have this timer event that's looping. And this guy is going to be like, check to see if backdoor collision bool is false. And then when it is false, when false, shut door. I think that will work out. So what did I do here? So let's back up. We'll back up. We'll back up. We will delete this, back this guy up, go back to our viewport. And I think after our discussion, I think the best choice is going to be having two collisions like I originally created, but they're going to be overlapping slightly.
So not to like constantly harp on this, but
Yeah.
so with the way it's set up right now, I think you could open it from the front while you're standing on the back side of the door if you hug up real close to it, right?
So if I get very close to the front door, what are you seeing? So if I get very close like this,
Yeah, but on the other side of the door.
You can just point it at the hinge on the other side, or the doorknob on the other side.
Yeah, because it's searching for doorknob class of object, not a specific kind.
oh well,
a
we can.
specific type or a specific doorknob object.
That would only be an issue if your collision from the other side is showing on that side, right?
No. The problem is we're not tracing. The line trace doesn't care about. Here, let's do. Actually, let me stop it.
Oh, it's going through the door.
It's going through the door, right? So we go to our blueprints, this one, and so we need to say actors to ignore. You see this? And so what we'll need to do is probably create a barrier, an invisible barrier, and then we need to like ignore that barrier. So if I do persistent here and we drew this, and you can see that even if I'm on this side, that I'm getting trues, right? See the green? Hopefully you guys can see that green.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is put a barrier between it, and we'll say ignore that, or be blocked by that. So we can do that right now, actually. So if we go to our interactive sensors, and we'll right click. So we have a couple problems. So let's save everything. Save all. It's cool. Okay. Right click, new blueprint class, actor. We'll just call this door block or something like that. BP door block. Open that guy up. We'll just add a cube. Compile. Oh, we need to get rid of this default scene root. I hate that. So scene root, replace the default root. Cool. Now we have cube. And I want to I'm trying to figure out the size. I'm gonna have to adjust it anyway, but I put it right there. And then what we can do is we can sort of cheat a little bit by opening up our blueprint. And I'm going to move the blueprint down a little bit. And then I'm going to scale in our blueprint the way out the size I need. Oh, that's all right. And see, I can move it up. It'll be fine. And then we'll make this invisible. So let's talk about making it invisible normally, and then debugging it and showing it as visible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our construction script. And so a construction script is, why not add a scene like with the piano puzzle? What do you mean by that? It's like a shotgun that goes through the door. Yes. What do you mean by that, Castile?
What I meant was kind of like what we did with the ball, where it stopped and it couldn't move any further. I thought, why didn't we just do that? But it's a stupid thing. I realized, wait, we're not a ball and we're not really an object, so we can't stop.
Yeah.
Never mind. Or forget I said anything. It was stupid.
Oh, okay. So in our construction script, what we're going to do is we're going to actually we're going to make a variable. So under my blueprints, variables category, new variable, we're going to say debug. Compile that. Then we're going to grab our cube from our components list, and we're going to say set visibility. No, I take that back. Yeah, set visibility. It is set visibility. I'm sorry. And then we're going to say debug. And we're going to connect it to our new visibility. So if debug is true, then this will be visible. If debug is false, then it will not be visible. And then we will also go into our details panel of the cube itself. And we will say, can generate overlap events. I think we're going to say no to that. I could be wrong though. Block all dynamic. That's fine. We don't care about that anymore. And what else do we need to do? We need to do something else. Oh yeah, hidden in game. Definitely hidden in game. We don't want to see it when we play. It's just blocking for us.
Would that also block the objects that are being thrown into it or shot into it?
It would. It would. But we could change the collision type, doing custom and doing whatever we need to do, right? But for now, we can just leave it as block all dynamic because the door itself, like we select one of these doorknobs, they are also block all dynamic as well, right? So even the door itself, block all dynamic. That doesn't matter for our ray trace, or sorry, our line trace. It doesn't matter. So we can adjust that later. So now compile it, and it should be invisible. See, it's invisible. We also need to make this debug as a exposed variable. So we're going to turn on our light. And now I can go to the level and I can click debug and we can see it. See that? But I do not want it in the level. I actually want it in this blueprint. So we're going to go to the musical door blueprint. And we're going to go add component. I think it's child actor. Yeah, child actor. And this is going to be a door block. And then we're going to go right here. It says child actor component, actor class, and BP door block. Oh, that doesn't give me what I want. Don't think. Child actor template. Oh yeah, default. There it is. Debug. There it is. That's what we want. So door block is actually going to be a child of door. I think I already have it a child of door. No, I do not. So it's a child of door. So now when the door moves or whatever, so will the door block. And my door block is rotated wrong. So let's rotate it the correct way. And then we need to put where the so it won't, you know, the array won't shoot through it. Right, so now it's like between them. If we need to, we can be dumb and we can like really like, you can't shoot through this thing. Just scale it. We don't want the player to shoot through at all. Shouldn't be able to do it. You know, it's stupidly big. I don't even care.
If you put some text saying you'll shoot your eye out.
Right. Then we could turn the debug mode off. And how I got to this debug is right here where it says child actor template, and click that. And it's under the default category right there. All right, so if you got that, it's all set. You have the debug turned off, scaled all correctly, positioned in the right spot. And you're ready to move on, give me a thumbs up. And then we'll work on the first person character blueprint to fix that line trace.
Hang on, where do you find the debug option?
Right here under child actor template. So first you have to set the child actor
okay.
class, and then it's under the default. category. And actually, I will go to this door blueprint as well, and I will go to the construction script so you can see that if you need to. So this is the door construction script. And oh, I failed. There we go. All right, Matt, with the first thumbs up. Nice job. Cool. James is good to go. Alex is thumbs up. Jayla, awesome. Okay, let's move on. Put this back here. Let's go to our first person character. And we're going to go to actors to ignore right here in our line trace. So we have our event tick, our line trace. This particular line trace is looking for doorknobs. So let's add this actors to ignore. She's right. Array of actor objects, yes. So we'll promote that to a variable, and we can just leave it as actors to ignore. We'll compile, and now we have, oops, in our details panel for this variable called actors to ignore, we have this array of elements. And oh, why are we not letting me add one? Insert? No, why are we not letting me add? Inside in class default, it's not allowed. Oh, well, we can expose it. Let's just expose it, and then we can go into here, and then we should be able to do that way. Why are we doing it? Oh, this is first person character, and I don't have one in the world because I'm not possessing one like that. That's why it doesn't allow me to do actors to ignore. Maybe we can do it this way. I do. Where is the event? Oh, we're not in where begin play. Event begin play. Oh yes, we do. We could do something like this. We could do get all actors class. This is all actors of class. We'll say DP door. No, what is it? Door block. Yeah, DP door block, and then promote that. All DP door blocks. We'll do it that way. And then we can come in here. Where is that? Actors to ignore. We can get rid of that guy, get rid of this guy, and we can do this. There. More than one way to skin a cat. Okay, so let me show you how I did that. Blah, 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 blah. Go this way, go away. We'll go to our begin play. Where is that at? Here it is. Event begin to play. That's this guy right here. All right. So in the past, we've been doing a single get actor of class. So this is, we're just going to check to see if there's now, so now I can't walk through it. Okay, there's possibility that that the child is not part of the door. You got to make sure the child is part of the door because, right, like that. You know what else we could do while we're thinking about it is we can go to the door block, and I think Rob was right, and just change this collision to no collision. Just change it to no collision. It's fine. We don't care about the collision. We care about whether it's being ignored or not. So change the collision for indoor block to no collision. And then once you've done that, then go to our first person character, begin play, and we're gonna do get all actors of class. This one, get all actors of class. And then we'll say, what actor are we looking for, or actors, that door block. And then we have this out array, and we're going to promote that to a variable, and it's going to be all BP door blocks. This is pretty expensive, but it's fine. And it's fine because it's happening on begin play. So as soon as the game starts, we'll get all of those door blocks, and that's fine. All right, once you have this get all actors set up, then you can go to the the line trace for objects, and we can grab our all door blocks and add it to that actors to ignore. And hopefully that works. So I'm going to try it. And well, obviously that didn't count, but you can see it's, should we be blocking it? No, we're not blocking. Oh no, it's not blocking. How dare you? I want to block it. So that did not work. That failed.
So your door block, I think, is between the doorknobs instead of in front of them to block them, right?
Well, we want it to be between them. And the reason we want it between them is because I want to be able to hit this collision, this one, to open the front door, but I don't want to be like if I'm in the back door. Oops. Stop.
Is it because you have no collision? Would it need to have like a collision in order to separate it?
That's possible. Let's check that out. See collision. We'll leave it as block all dynamic for now, and then just see if that makes a difference. It's very possible. So now see, it doesn't care.
Would this be a setting that you can change on the doorknob collision independently? On each doorknob, you could be like, if person is standing in this collision box on this side, then the other doorknob doesn't work.
Actually, let's do this. I want to, I'm just going to test this out. So we have this is our front door knob. And what I'm going to do for that front door knob, just for test, is I'm going to say no collision on that one. Because I think what's happening is this actually is working, but I'm hitting the front door knob. So now the front door, I'm not hitting at all. And, oh, but I am still hitting the back door, right? Yes. Oh, yes, it's going through. It is still going through. So no, that's not it. I thought ignore collisions would do what I wanted to do.
I don't think it's because you're touching the back door handle collision. I can aim if you move sideways and aim at the if you're on the back side and just look at where the knob would be on the front, not even looking at the back knob, you can open it. So it's just it's not interacting with the back door knob. It's still the front door knob, but it's just from behind.
I think it is interacting with the back door knob because for the purposes of our
Because you can stand to the side, like right up against the door, and then where that back door thing is, and it doesn't open. At least it doesn't for me.
Well, I think the back door and front door knob are functionally the same, just they're in a different location.
I think you're right. Alex. See, it is working. So if I go like this and I'm trying to hit it, it's not working, right? Oh, it is working. It's working.
Would this be an issue we'd run into if we keep making copies of additional blueprints? Because we're trying to save time and we're just making them all off of one. So whatever the settings of the original one are, it might be interfering with what you're doing.
No, that doesn't matter. We can make 100 different blueprints. None of that matters. Line trace for objects. Oh, we need it. Oh, we could do out hit maybe. Let's see, break this. We could say it starts initialize. hit actor. Oh, we could do it that way. Actually, we could do hit component. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's do it this way. So this is actors ignore is not actually going to work the way I wanted to. So let's delete this, yes, delete that. We'll undo our event begin play, get all actors of class. We can get rid of that. Compile, compile, compile. Door block. While you were cool, we're just going to get rid of you too. Sorry. We'll force delete. It's going to complain. Our door, back door, sorry, our musical door is going to complain. Maybe. No. Hey, you didn't complain. It's awesome. Just get rid of it. It's fine. Get rid of it all. Let's do this. We're going to do a slightly different thing. What we'll do now is we'll say in our line trace, player is looking at doorknob is that's only going to be true if it's the right doorknob. So what we'll do is we're going to come out of here and we'll say hit component. Oh no, Unreal, are you kidding me? Man. Okay, no, we will say restart Unreal. That's what we're going to do. Restart, save, select, it's fine. Unreal. Okay.
So are you trying to code and say if you're standing in one and you're hitting and you're looking for a specific doorknob, it's this doorknob. If not true, then it doesn't register the other one.
Exactly. So, okay, so we're back, first person. Okay, so hit component, promote to variable. This is going to be hit doorknob. And player is looking at doorknob. We actually are going to remove this Boolean. So we'll get rid of that Boolean. And we're also going to remove it from our variables here. So we're going to leave it like that. So hit component, and then we're going to set a value. And then what we'll do is we'll go to our doorknob, or sorry, our door. And we have this right here, this player is looking at door, and we have the first person character, right? We're gonna have to change that. We're gonna have to say, I'm going to move this up, move this a little bit, scale this out a little bit. I'm gonna bring these over so we have some room to work. And this one can still stay like that. But now, with our first person character, we're going to say, we're going to get the hit doorknob. This one right here, hit doorknob. And we're going to say, is it equal to the doorknob collision? Right. So is it the front door collision? If it is, then we'll allow it to happen. So you just do like that. Oh, but this is still going to, if they're on the other side, it's still going to fire. It's still going to cause a problem. Right. So it's on the back side. Let's see. So firing. Let's see. We'll go back to this guy. This one. We'll turn. Oh yeah. We'll say. What did I have it on? I had it on custom, and it was ignore all except for the doorknob. There we go. I wonder if I can do. I wonder if I can do door. Oh, it's already blocked. Oh no, it's not. Let's do custom, and we're going to do block doorknob and see what happens there. Maybe that actually will block the line trace. I don't think it will, but let's try it. No, see, it doesn't block the line trace at all. But
What if you just take the doorknob off of the back because it's gonna shut and lock behind them as they progress, correct? So we wouldn't really need a doorknob on the back.
I mean, if that's like to trap them there and prevent them from going back, maybe. But what if they want to go back?
Well, that's the intent, is we don't want them to go back. So you do have a point. What we could totally do is once they go through the door, right? So once they've entered the front door collision and entered the back door collision, we could just say front door collision or front doorknob collision is a set collision. No collision, right? So like that. And then now they can never interact with the front door anymore. Or sorry, the front door knob no longer interact with the front door knob. So that's actually a good way to do it. And all of this is still kind of unnecessary. It still didn't solve what we want to solve. What I really want to do is I want to stop it from, let's see, it's one time. Yeah, started in this case, nice. No. It's just line trace objects. Maybe I could do line trace like channel. No, that's still going to do the same thing. Still going to do the same thing. It's still going to have the same problem.
What if you made it to where one doorknob was one in one channel and the other one's in the other channel, and it only works if you're in one collision?
Here's the channel. Let's see. Trace channel is visible and trace complex. No, I don't think that's going to work the way we want it to. We'd have to make more trace channels. It would be the same thing as making instead of a single doorknob object, where we make two doorknob objects, one front doorknob. But that's kind of like you can only have 18 custom channels. See, so if we did like backdoor knob.
So if it's for like a single level, it might be okay, but for a full game, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's very expensive. So let's just leave it like this. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's gonna be fine. As a matter of fact, what we can do is we can say I'm going to rename these. I have doorknob collision 1. I'm going to rename this the front door knob collision and back door knob collision. This is confusing me. So what we can do is we can say initially the back door collision by default is no collision, right? We just say no collision. And then the front door knob, it is custom and it's just set to doorknob, right? And then what will happen is that only the front door will fire. Sorry, only the front door knob will fire. So see, I'm getting hits there, or I should be getting hits there. Let me do wrong here. One, that's front door knob. Yep, line trace component. What did I do wrong? I have done something wrong here. Overlap, that's correct. Front door. Oh, object type has to be doorknob. Okay, now it should work. No, still not working. Okay. What did I do?
Didn't you, when you were setting collision enabled, didn't you set it to the front collision?
Oh, I said no collision right there. That's what it was. That's what it was. See. Yay, it's working now. Cool. Okay. All right. Okay, so custom. Actually, you know what we should do is we're actually, in order for us to do the code that we want, where we can say, hey, it's collision enabled, no collision. Oh, actually, no, we can leave it this way. Actually, we'll leave it that way. Let's do this. We need to go to our backdoor knob collision. We actually need to put this back to custom. Query only, it's a doorknob. We're ignoring everything except for the doorknob that's getting overlapped. So make sure your doorknob looks like this. Front and back doorknobs. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, here, I'll just do it from here. We'll go to our begin play. We're going to say when the game begins, we're going to get our backdoor knob collision. And we're just going to disable that initially. So that's going to be enable collision. Sorry, this one right here, set collision enabled. And we're going to say no collision. And that's on begin play. So the idea here is when the game starts, the back door knob doesn't work. This way it prevents a player from messing with that back door knob in any way. And then when they open the front door, go through the front door, and we want to enable this for whatever reason, then we can do that. As a matter of fact, we could probably even make this a Boolean value later for designers to decide, hey, this particular door, the player can never go back through, but this other door, the player can go through. So it will, when we get to that stage, you guys will have to remind me, but we can set that up as a Boolean and then have it exposed, and then you can have multiple doors and do all that stuff. Okay, back to what we're doing. Save everything, save this. And let's see, player ends, they no longer have entered the front door collision. Is the door open? If the door is opened, do we even need to say anything? We probably don't even need to say anything. But if the door is not open, then they need to get closer. I think that's fine. We can leave it like that. Then what we need to do is we did this, we did that. Then what we need to do is sort of copy all this. So I'm gonna copy all, what is this over here? I don't need to keep going. Copy all of this stuff from our door, minus this one. And we're gonna paste it. Oh no, I didn't copy, I failed, guys. Copy, there we go. We'll paste it like this. Like this. And we're gonna, obviously it's going to be slightly different because this is going to be like, this is the front door logic. And this is going to be our back door logic. So we need to make some changes. So we have our player entered front door collision setter. We don't need that. Let's duplicate it. And it's going to be player entered back door collision. We're going to set that as true. Let's see. I have it as helper text 1 and 2. I'm going to change that as well. Front door helper text, back door helper text. There we go. So our front door helper text, what did we say? When the player enters, then we enter at your own risk. Ha 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 ha. What we can do is, if they've entered the back door collision, we can. Well, actually, we're going to move this like this for now, and we're going to disconnect that, and then we'll go straight to our event timer. I have this set as doorknob 1 timer, so let's rename that. This will be front door knob timer event instead of doorknob 1. But since it's the back door, we can get rid of that setter and do another return value from this guy, and we'll promote that one. It'll be back door knob timer event. Oh man, look, I named it doorknob 1 custom event. So let's go back to our front door. And this doorknob 1 custom event, we're going to rename it the front door knob custom event. We'll go back to our back door. This one, we're going to, oh, wait, let's do this. Let's create a custom event. So we're going to create one. So we'll just right click anywhere, create custom event. Oh wait, custom event, something like that. Oh, there's add custom event. This one right here, add custom event. That's fine, Matt. No problem. And then we're going to rename this one to backdoor knob custom event. And we'll drag that right here. And we'll say backdoor custom event. And we'll say, is the back door locked? Is the door opened? Our hit is not the front door collision. This is going to be our back door collision. And then did they press the key? If so, we're stopping the wrong timer, right? Clear and invalidate timer handler. We're stopping the wrong one. So let's do backdoor. Front door helper text, that's wrong. We'll change that to backdoor helper text. That the door is opening. We have another timeline. That's fine. We have the same door animation here. We need to change this though to a -1. So float times -1, because now it's going to open the opposite direction. -1 to the Z. And front door helper text, we need to change that to say backdoor helper text. We have not closed the door yet. Okay, so this is under the assumption that that the player enters the front door or the back door. And both are interactable. Let's do some other stuff too while I'm thinking about it. This whole front door thing. Oh, our back door helper text needs to be.
I think you should technically still close the door, but you'd have to get on the opposite side to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next. So let's fix our back door text helper text. So right now it's centered. I'm gonna right align it, and then I'm gonna move it so it's in line with the door itself, and that should be good. And then I'm going to remove the default text I have to just nothing. So it's empty. And I'm going to do the same thing to, oh my gosh, I hit the A key. Okay, nothing. And then I'm going to do the same thing to our front door helper text. I'm just going to empty that out as well. so that when the game starts, there's, oh, actually, I think it needs to say get closer. What did I have? What did I have? What was the text? Get closer or something like that? Oh yeah, this one right here. So what we can do is we can grab this guy and we can go to our begin play. And we can say for both the front door and the back door, helper text. Oh no, only let me do one at a time. That's fine. That's fine. Paste this. Boom. So this is when the game starts, set default helper, or sorry, doorknob helper text values. And you don't need to make the comment. Just understand that I'm doing it on begin play. Okay, so what do we do? What do we need to do? We need get closer. Oh, we need to finish this stuff. So let's do this. Let's see. Player enters the, oh, this is front door. This is back door. Player enters front door collision. Oh, I have that wrong. Player enters back door collision. That's what it's supposed to be. Player enters the back door collision. Boom. We have this helper text value for the front door that we could, let's do a sequence. Oh, no, I changed my mind. Let's see. They enter the door collision. We set the timer for them to be able to interact with the back door. Okay, so this is where we're going to create that bool. So we will do, let's do another variable. I'm going to say enable back door knob. And we're going to expose that. And then we'll do a branch right here. And we're going to say, is the backdoor knob going to be enabled? If so, then we'll fire off a timer event to allow the backdoor to be used. And we also need to disable the front door's collision. So I'm going to get the, front door knob's collision. So I'm gonna get our front door knob collision. Let's say set collision, set enabled collision or something like that. Enable collision, yeah, set collision enabled, this one. And we're gonna say no collision on the front door knob. And if we really want to be, spicy, which I think we should, let's do the same logic right here. I'm going to duplicate this enable backdoor. I'm going to change this to enable front door knob. And I'm going to go to our front door knob, front door logic. And actually, this helper text, I'm going to move right there. And I'm going to do it right here. Enable front door logic branch. So only if this is true. Will we set off all the stuff? And we're also going to, just in case, we will disable, set collision enabled for the back door. And then let's grab this branch that I just created where front door enable. We're going to copy it. So copy, copy, copy. We will clear and invalidate. So this is the exit. We don't want to have this text show up to say get closer. Unless the front door enabled is true, front door knob enabled is true, then that text should show up, right? So no text shows up unless the front door knob is activated. So what else do we need to do? We actually need to grab this again, and we need to go to our begin plays where I have this, when the game starts, sets the default doorknob text. We actually need to do a bool right there as well. So enable front door. Only if that's true. And actually, I'm going to come out of this guy and we're going to just do a little sequence. And enable backdoor. There. So if the front door knob is enabled, then we can start showing helper text and turn on all these timer events and let the player interact with the door. If the front door knob is not enabled, then we do nothing. And as a matter of fact, by default, it should be not enabled, right? So when we go here and we do stuff, you can see there's no text. And even though we're getting line traces and all that, we can't interact with the door because we've disabled it. While I'm thinking about this, let me actually go here and turn off the debug. We don't need that anymore. Okay. Who's with me? Who's totally lost? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on. Oh no, Hayden's got a face. Madison's not ready at all. Okay, so where did I lose you? How about this? Build this block right here. This in the begin play. So this is in the begin play block. Build that right there. And if you have this, then give me a thumbs up, and I'll go to the next section. Cool. All right, got 2 thumbs up. Three, 4. Let me get 1 more. Just keep going behind. Not all my internet is being wonky. Okay. All right, so let's go to our front door logic, and I've added that same branch. So right here, right after this player enters the front door collision, we added that branch, and only if it's true do we fire off all our helper text values and timer events and setting collisions and all that sort of stuff. And remember, this is the back door right here. Back door knob. Disable back door. All right, if you have that, give me a thumbs up. Cool. And then we actually need to copy this again. We need to do it. Oh, I already have it. I have it right here. So on our end overlap, we have the same thing, right? Show helper text if enabled, right? So if the front door knob is enabled, then we can do all this logic. Otherwise, we don't care. If you have that, let's move on to the next thing. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, that 2. All right. Now we're at the back door. We're doing the same thing. If the back door is enabled, backdoor knob, sorry, the backdoor knob is enabled, then we set the timer event for the back door. We disable the collision. Front door knob disabled. And then we also need to set some helper text here. But not for, oh wait, did I have helper text in this one? Oh yeah, but not for the front door. It would be for the back door helper text. And then we need this. Oh, we didn't do this one, I don't think. Then we need our exit, our end overlap. This guy. We need that is backdoor enabled, logic, branch, connection, blah, 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 blah. If it's true, then we can do all this other logic. Oh, I set the front door again, so we need to do our backdoor helper text. There we go. Door open, blah, blah, blah. They press Q. Backdoor helper text door knob is open. Backdoor helper text. Backdoor helper text. Range. We inverted it. And to open inwards. Okay. I think I have the bug with Unreal again. I do. So let me close everything, reopen Unreal. And we'll go back to the door. All right. So back to our original problem with closing the door. So the player enters this collision volume, they interact with the doorknob, they open the door, they go through the door, and they are no longer in this collision volume and are either, and then they're in this collision volume, then we'll close the door. Actually, what we could do is say, they've entered this collision, exited this collision volume. Let's see, no, when they're in both collision volumes, I think we can do that. No, that's not gonna be true either. Oh yeah, it would be. When they're in both collision volumes, then we'll check to see have they left the backdoor collision volume. And then we can close the door. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, we'll start right here on component end overlap. Player has exited that collision volume. And we're gonna do, is the door open? We're gonna grab our player entered backdoor collision. So if the door is open and the player is inside the backdoor collision, which would be true, then we'll do a timer, set timer event, set timer by event. It's looping, and we can do this kind of slow. So this can be like 0.1. We can even do like, yeah, we'll just do 0.1, it's fine. And this will be check if player exited backdoor collision. Sorry, timer event. And it needs to be looping. And then all we're going to do is, actually, we'll do this. We'll do, I don't want to do creative, and I'll do custom event. Custom event. We're going to do it like this. And all this is going to do is, I'm going to loop, and it's going to say backdoor collision, branch. So has the player left? And oh yeah, actually we can go, has the player left? We're going to do clear and invalidate timer. And that's going to be our checker. So that stops this timer. And then we will actually connect this guy right into the reverse from end for our front door. And so what that'll do is that will close the door, but it's also setting this as doors open is true. Let's well,
Can changing the timeline help at all for delaying it or no?
what do you mean, this timeline?
Yeah, for like after you open the door, it waits so long to initiate the close.
No, we don't, I mean, we can put a delay right here. We can do delay, right? And we can say, wait 5 seconds or 50 seconds or whatever we want, right? We can definitely do a delay. That doesn't matter. The problem is that once it's finished, then we're still saying that the door is opened. You see this? So, so what we need to do is we probably need to grab this is doors open and put it right here. And then we could do, actually, I mean, this is not ideal. This is not ideal, but what we could do is we could come over here and we could do a sequence. And then we'll have a little delay. And something like this. And this one will go to our play start. And this can go like this. It's fine. And now, and then when you change this to maybe like 2 seconds or something like, how long ago was our timer? It was, yeah, see, it was 2 seconds. So we're gonna have that same delay of 2 seconds. And then the door will be open, right? So the then 0 fires first, opens the door for us. This also fires, waits 2 seconds, and then says, yes, the door is open, and sets all that up for us. So we're gonna do the same thing over here. We can have a delay to wait. The player leaves the collision, we stop the timer, we have a slight delay, and then we'll do another sequence. We'll have this same block of logic, but now the door is no longer open, and we can say our front door helper text is empty. We can just leave it empty because the door is going to be closed anyway. Yeah, I think that'll be better. So let's try that out. What we need to do is go into our world outliner here, select a door, and we need to enable the front door. Otherwise, it won't work, right? So now it immediately says get closer. Now, as soon as I get closer or walk away, that's all working. And then if I look at the door, press the doorknob, door is opening. The door is now open, enter at your own risk. If I go through this, it doesn't matter. But if I go through both, it did not close the door. Oh, I need to exit. Oh, wait, 2 seconds or something like that. I'm not sure. Something's not right. We didn't do something right. What do we not do? Player enters and this is the back door, and I have enter front door collision. Oh, whoops. That should be enter back door collision. There we go. Let me make sure I have this one right too. Enter backdoor collision. Okay, yeah, cool. So now let's try that again. Doors opening, enter your own risk, go through the door. 2 seconds later, the door closes. It's magic. However, I just realized we're probably gonna have another problem. Open the door, door's open, and then I walk away like this, and the door should still close, right?
No, because you coded it inversely, so that it's only when you exit the front door version.
Yeah, but I did exit the front door collision and I exited the back door collision.
But are you entering it through the back again or no?
Let me see. Oh, it does work. I am smart. I didn't know. Don't tell anybody, guys. Happy accidents. I had no idea. Let's see. Okay, wait. Player entered the backdoor collision. That's true. Oh, this only fires. You're right. You're right, Rob. So if I exit the backdoor collision, but I did not, if I exit the backdoor collision and I enter and I'm inside the front, the backdoor collision, then this fires. Okay, good. I'm smart.
You inverted it and did it right without knowing it.
Yep, I had no idea. Okay, so let's try another test. Let's go and we will enable both the front and the back doors. So we have that, this guy. Of course, the back door does nothing right now. Open. Oh no, see, we have a bug. does not want to open the front door. Why?
Didn't it try to open towards you or no?
I think it tried to open both ways. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it tried to do both of them. See if back door is enabled, enable front door. Oh, we're doing, we're actually disabling the collision for both, right? Is the front door enabled? Then we're disabling the front door collision. And then the same thing on this side. Is the front door enabled? Then disable the back door. So we're disabling both of them. You can only have one turned on at a time. Front door or back door. You can't have both. So what we'll do is we'll de-check that, and then it should work, right? Blah, yeah, see. And if I do it this way and turn the back door on only, then the front door does nothing, but our back door does stuff. And of course, we don't have the logic to open the door.
Could you make an outside variable so that it's like, because you can sequence stuff, right? Could you do a sequence to where it's something more than that?
Yes, we could. Let me look at the back door here. I did something wrong with our back door. Back door, player enters back door is enabled. Look at the back door custom event, disable the front door knob just in case. Back door, is the door open? No. We hit the back door collision, true. I press the use key, yes. Stop the timer, door is opening. Oh, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. So we need a sequence here. And then we need to grab these guys. Oh no, nope, no, this was right. Go here, go here, go here. Grab this guy, go over there. Right from start, grab these guys. Delay. Next, boom, like that. And door knob. Let's see. So that is true. There, da, 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 da. We haven't done any of that other stuff. That's fine. Why did this not work? Let's look at this one. That's all correct. Why you know it? Oh, back door. Closer. Press the use key. Oh, let me see. What else did I have wrong? Then graph. Back door. Oh, right here. Walk, 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 walk. We can get rid of that now. We disabled the collision of the back door automatically. So let's see. If the back door is enabled, if the front door is enabled, then we'll do this. We'll disable the back door. Oops. And we will do the front door knob. Where is it? Door knob. Door knob, front door knob collision. Door knob. Okay. There we go. Save. And is that all connected? That looks good. Okay. Now the back door should work. Hey. But the back door doesn't close. Okay. I'm like going super fast here because I only have like 15 minutes left or less. All right, so we need to have this logic. So this is going to be player, oops, no, player entered the front door. Start a timer event. Actually, I'm going to be cheesy here. I'm just going to grab all this. Blah. Grab all of that. Player entered front door. That's true. We can do a custom event. It's fine. Player entered front door collision, not back door. So we need to, actually this is a wrong name, so we promote this to variable. It's going to be check if player exited front door collision timer event. And then this goes right there. This goes right here. Blah, blah, blah. And then this one goes right to our reverse command. What is this? The way front door help text? No, it needs to be back door help text. Is empty. Reverse. That looks good. Compile and save. And now we hit play. And if it's the back door, press the key. And I leave, nothing happens, we don't care. But if I go through it, the door closes. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Let's do this. We'll make another variable, and we'll call this enable front door in real time. And then we'll duplicate that again, but this will be enable backdoor in real time. And so let's start with the front door. So player goes through the door, right? And we'll have this checked as a, or sorry, we'll have it exposed right here. So we'll say, actually, let's flip this around. Front door is enabled. And then when they go through the front door, we will enable the back door in real time. So then we're going to come here, enable back door in real time. If that's true, we'll go to the branch, blah, blah, blah. So they've gone through the door. The door has closed. And then we will, what do we need? We need that collision thing, this guy. Set doorknob collision. And that's true. Set doorknob collision is query only. Oops, this is front door. We need this to be the back door knob collision. And we need to also we also need to do this backdoor enabled. It's probably not the best way to do it. That's okay. Actually, we might not even need to do this block. Do we? Oh yeah, we do. We do. This is checking that. Oh, we need this too. The helper text to get closer. So we're going to need all of that. All right. And also we need to disable the, set the front door collision. Front door no longer works. Doors no longer open. We have no more helper text for the front door. This is actually kind of like its own thing. So is the back door going to be enabled in real time? Then we turn it on, we set it true, we set the helper text, we disable the front door knob, and we should also disable the collision for that front door knob. So I'm going to have this, set collision, we're going to say no collision. No collision and front door knob. And now front door knob is enabled and back door will be enabled once they go through the door. So get closer, that looks good. This is the front door knob. We hit the key, the door is opening. We go through the door. Door closes. Back door is enabled now, right? See, it says get closer. Hit the key. The back door opens. And that's all good. Now we need to resolve a couple issues. So let's let's copy this all. We're going to put this down here. And this is the same thing for when the door is closed, but instead of enable back door in real time, it's going to enable front door in real time. And instead of the back door having collision, it's going to be the front door knob. I'm just flipping these guys. Enable front door knob. It will actually be enable back door knob. It is no longer good. And enable front door knob is true. And this goes to the front helper text. Okay. Now then. Yeah, let's see if that works. So, oh, actually, it's going to be this way. So I need to be on this side. So back door opens. We go through the door closes. We get that get closer value. Door opens. And then we can go through it again. And then the door closes. But the problem now is like, oh, we have another problem. Oh, we got a couple problems. Okay, so now what do we need to do? We should, let's look at this again. They enable those back door. We turn off the collision of the doorknob, blah, 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 blah. And that means that they cannot should not be able to open the door. Fix one bug and two more crop up. The eternal struggle of programming, right? What we want to do is we don't want this to fire. We don't want them to be able to open this door. What did I do wrong? We're not front collision. What we could do is, no, that's fine. Let's see. Back door in real time. Back door non collision is enabled. This all looks correct. Let me play it again. See what the heck's going on. Okay.
It didn't become a thing until you put the front and back door conditions in just now.
That's correct. So the door closes. Closed door, maybe. Front door opens. Okay. Oh no, see, it's still working. Let's do this. We'll do this. We'll grab this guy, and we're going to say, once the door opens, then disable collision. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work the way I want it to. Once the door closes, we'll disable collision. That's what I'm going to do. Disable collision. So now they can't open the door again. I'm going to do the same thing on our back door. But this is going to be back door knob. That's wrong. I think I might have this wrong. Collision. Actually, I think I might have this wrong. Let's see. Enable the front door. Oh yeah. Then we enable the front door, and the back door is no more clear. Okay, yeah. So what this is going to do is, if the door closes, then we will not be able to interact with the door anymore. So boom, open the door, go through it. Door closes, maybe. Maybe, hello, close the door. I can open the door this way, go through it. The door should close. Maybe, maybe not. Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? First off, let's go to this timer. Let's see, no. What did I do wrong? Report, it all looks right. Dead crash. What did I do wrong? Player enters the front door, player enters. That's correct, I think. Let's look at this one. Player enters back door, player entered. Oh, it needs to be false. Oh, it is false. I do have it right. False. Okay, looping. Blah blah blah. Why did it not? Why did it not reverse? Let's try it again. Door opens. I enter. The door closes. So now we should be at the front door. And
Could it be that it only happens once and then after you trigger it, it just stops looping?
no. See, because this is firing right here. And the door opens. So that's our loop right there. Problem is I go through the collision. Oh, the door closed this time. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know. And now the door should not be opening. Yeah, see, the door doesn't open. Okay, I did have it right. It's just being funky. Okay, so cool. So now if the door closes, then we can't interact with the door anymore unless we say, yes, interact with the door some more. Oh, you know what it is? Our timer is not fast enough. That's what it is. I moved to that door too quickly. Let's change our timer. Actually, I'm gonna make this a variable. Promote. Are you kidding me, Unreal? I got 5 minutes. Come on. Close, 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 save everything. Open this up again. Promote to variable. This is going to be timer tick. I'll promote this, save, and we're going to change this to much faster, like 0.0. We'll do 0.1. Just gonna make it like stupidly fast. It's fine. And I can connect this guy like that. And I think I have one up here. I do. And I think I have another one somewhere else. Yeah, here it is right there. And save. And now it shouldn't matter.
Will it be a problem if you're not too fast?
No, because we're turning them off and on as we need. See, the door's closing now. It's working. Close. Go through the door. Perfect. Okay, so now that's good. So what do we want to do? So now we want to try and enable both front and back. And now it doesn't work, right? So what we'll do is if we need to have a statement where it's like, if the, we'll go like this. This is going to be on begin play. So if the front door is enabled and the back door is not enabled, then we can just do this. But if the front door is enabled and the back door is enabled on begin play, then we can grab these guys. Let's see. Do it like that. And then this one is going to go. Let's see, then we need to, there's going to be a problem here. So this is going to fire and it's going to go, is the front door enabled? Okay. Is the front back door enabled? Okay. And if the front, and this is the same actually, so we need to fix this. Let's see, if the front door is enabled, then we have that get closer value to the front door help text. If the back door is enabled, oh, yeah, okay, so then that would be like this. And if the front door is not enabled, then we need to check to see if the back door is enabled. And if it is, then we go like that. And we'll always assume, see, if the front door is enabled, is the front door enabled? Then what? If only the front door is enabled, we still need to set, we still need to say, I mean, it's almost like,
Would the false be coming out of the bottom branch?
what bottom branch? This one?
Yeah.
No. If the front door is in, if only the front door is enabled, only the front door. If only the front door is enabled, then we need to have the same helper text and disable the backdoor collision. If the back door is enabled, let's see, if the front door is enabled and the back door is enabled, then what? I think actually this, I think this is actually gonna work out. If the front door is enabled, then we disable the back door. If the front door is not enabled, no, see, that's not gonna work either because we need to go.
Would it be before the branch since it's before that fits one or the other, if it's both of them?
No. Problem is if this is only, if it's only that one, then we're going to disable the backdoor knob collision. But if it's both of these are true. God damn it. Grab all the pieces. Or not. Just do whatever you want, Unreal. You're frustrating me, bro. Come on. There we go. Now, if it's both of these, and technically we could do it this way. If it's both of these and. Then what? So if it's only that one, all right, actually we could do, no, we can't do an or that way. But if it's both of them, then what do we want? We want the same thing. We want the back door to be disabled initially. Oh, I'm over my time. Shucks. If it, maybe we do this check first. Do like, yeah, we do that. Yeah, I think that's actually a good idea. So if it's not both of them, then check to see if it's just the front door. If it is only the front door, then disable that guy. And actually we can do a sequence here. Actually, that's what we'll do. So go to the sequence, go with this. Go like this, that one, and then this can go like this. And I think that'll work. So if it's both of them, if both of them are enabled, then we're going to disable the back door. Assuming that like the player is going to, that's fine. No problem, guys. It's fine.
Would you
So-
duplicate that for the other door as well if you just went through it,
What other door?
like the front door to back door?
No, we're going to assume that the designer is always setting the front door first. So we got to make that assumption. So if they enable the front door and the back door, then we're going to assume that they've set it up so the player goes to the front door first. And then we're going to disable the back door knob. And then once they go, but if the designer only enables the front door knob, then we do this. Or if they only enable the back door knob, then we'll do this. That should work. So let's take a look. So yes, the back door is disabled because they're both turned on. And I can't enter the door. Same problem as before. Let's see what is going on. The front door is enabled. And, oh, I've entered both. So we have a problem right here, and we'll probably have to probably look at this when we come back. But the problem is that this is firing when both are true, which is disabling my backdoor, which is good. And the same is happening right here. Enable backdoor. This is disabling when both are true. So I'll have to come back to that. And it's turning off the front door knob. So before, hold on, Rob. I know you got the answers. Hold on. What we'll have to do is do a, we'll have to do that same sort of like check. Where did I have that check at? This one right here. We'll have to do this first. This guy like this. And if this is true, then you can go right into this. But if it's false, then we check just the front door. And then we'll do the same thing here. But on the back door, it's going to be slightly different. So if they're both true, then do nothing. But if it's only the back door, then do that. And that's going to fix that problem. And I'm like 5 minutes over my time. So let's see. Yeah, see now the door opens, right? I'll go back this way. And that door opens. And now it should always be opening both ways. Okay, so, oh no, I have broken it. It doesn't work.
I think it's only because you entered it right as it was closing.
Oh, probably. Okay, so I'm overtime. It doesn't matter. This is what we're gonna do. Launch. So what I'm going to do, don't forget next week I'm not here. Okay, guys. Let me stop the stream. Stop the stream. You don't care about any of this.